But I'm going to try and show you just how easy it really is to do this kind of carving once you have a pattern. Now I've got a template right here that's already been photocopied, and so I just clip that out, and if I'm doing a funny curved surface, I can make the pattern, clip it into pieces and put it on any individual surface, and you just catch the end of the stencil film and peel it off the back. This stuff's only 3/1000ths of an inch thick. It's very, very thin. So it allows me to put it on the surface, and then my graphics are right there. Now if this were a really tight piece of lettering, or even down as tiny as engraving a name on the inside width of a wedding band, we still use this pattern film to make all of our templates, and then we cut right through that surface. So it really is a lot easier to do because it's all a tracing than people realize. I've changed the angle of the cut so the camera can watch a little bit closer and get me a really up close. Most of you have just never seen anything cut with this much ease, so we're going to come in at an angle. I'd like you to know also, if you know your woods and realize that this is maple, which is kind of an in-between, more hardwood than soft, but it's end grain. This is like cutting on the end of a 2x4 or the end of a log. You don't normally carve on this surface easily at all. But the really high speed will allow me to cut and do it so easily. For example, I can cut clear through it very easily, just like that. But if I'm going to come in now and trace this pattern, all I do is start tracing the lines, and it just scores right through that stencil. The film is so thin that all I've got to do is touch it. Now the noise of the dental drill is usually the part that catches most people's attention to begin with, and so if you've had a root canal lately, this is likely to be a little distressing to you at first, but there's a cure for the noise of the dental drill, and that's get yourself on the money-making end of it. About the first time somebody hands you a $100 bill for an hour's worth of your carving, the noise of the drill will go right away. Also, I offer a free root canal course with every drill, so if you can't do the carving, I can teach you to do root canals. The problem is you just won't have any friends anymore. What I'm doing for the demonstration right now is helping you learn which of these cutters would I pick to do what kinds of materials and what kinds of cut and carving. And most people, if you had to get these cutting tools and guess or learn and teach yourself, would take a tremendous amount of time. And our burr block comes with 24 cutters, so there's 12 diamonds and 12 carbides, and they're in the block with the number and the picture of what each one looks like. So a number 6 round carbide is the next one we're going to use, and we go ahead and just basically eject that burr out now. One of the things that people love the most is the quick change ability of this friction grip collet. It's just really easy to do. All you do is seat the burr and then push it straight in, and it's ready to go again. Now once we've marked that pattern on, obviously this is quite a bit simpler pattern, and this is where we get started. But even if we were carving that elk right now and we'd traced it at this point, I have 10-year-olds who can do this carving and tracing really, really well, because all you've got to do is just follow those lines and mark it into the surface. And practically everything we carve is the same. I could do this on an eggshell, I could put it on a piece of Waterford crystal or Yadro porcelain. This literally could go on any material and any surface because it's so thin, and the high speed will cut it just wonderfully. Now as I start into doing the relief carving now, the round burr, we try and teach you on our videos. All our kits come with video DVD training to help you also learn. And once you can watch it being done, it's amazing how fast people pick it up. A round burr doesn't cut very well on the point. So what we're going to do is come around this outside edge now, and I'm going to come in along the edge and just clean that out a little bit more. Now I'm going against the rotation of the tool. I'm right-handed, and as I pull it towards me, it's going to do this drop relief kind of cut. We call this a semi-relief trough. All I'm doing is cutting a little bit of depth in there now to separate the leaf from the surface that it's on, this little art trick that we use. And then what I'm really trying to do is create some room to carve the leaf itself. And if you'll notice, my edges are cut clear to finish. The outside and the inside edge are cut just as clean as a whistle. And all I've got to do is go around this outside edge and semi-relief carve it just this fast. When I first started carving with my straight drill, after we got it made, I started doing gun stocks in our area. And I was learning to fly, and the Civil Air Patrol came into my dental office one day and wanted a donation for a new search and rescue airplane. So I carved some leaves on a very ordinary gun, and this little club of 6 people went out and raised thousands of dollars on my gun. But what they did was run around and show all my work off. And I kind of chuckled now, because all it was leaves. I didn't know how to do very much in those early days, and yet it still worked. I got a lot of attention because this is something that not a lot of other people can actually do. Now we're going to cut the in-between here and see how one leaf is above the other one in perspective. Now we're really going to have some fun. We're going to go from that number 6 round, and we're going to put in now what's called a 703. Can you see the difference between the two? This is the 699. That's the first one we used. Now the 703, and we're going to cut right on this little edge right here. So we try and show you in the videos and the DVDs that come with it which of the cutters you use and kind of how to get started with it, because otherwise you're going to be on your own guessing, and that makes it just all but impossible to do to start with. Now this next cut we're going to make right on the side. This leaf is down underneath that one, so I'm going to come in on this edge and just drop that down quickly. And then I'm going to come in now and do something that you've not seen done before a lot. A regular slow speed tool doesn't want to cut with the rotation. You can cut it and pull it against the rotation for a lot of control. But this one now will cut away from me. And I'm hoping you can kind of see those lines, see how I cut that little tiny details into that surface. I can cut the grain into the leaf just like I do a brush stroke. So the hair on an animal or the veining of a feather is just as easy as this. And I'm all done with the rough cut of that leaf. So you come in now, and these are just little tiny brush strokes. All you do is start getting the hang of it until you can feel how it's cutting. But look, I'm shaping the leaf as well. I can come in and cut this way down in here, give it a lot of characteristics and a lot of depth, and yet power cut in an end cut piece of maple just that easily. So when people come along and start doing these carvings on really high performance carvings on gun stocks and carvings for birds of prey, feathers and power details, there's just nothing like ultra high speed for getting the job.